My name is Michael Boylan, national best-selling author of 3 business books published by St. Martin's Press and Penguin Random House, single father of a special needs child, and author of what will likely become the most impactful book that I will ever write, called The Power to Get Justice, about a proven step-by-step process that can help people improve the likelihood of garnering resolution and justice in matters of significance, creating better outcomes for less money. An approach that could help every household in America because of how it can help resolve urgent or very important matters of significance faster and more effectively for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars less than it might normally cost them to attain resolution. I'd like to frame this series of videos by asking you a few very simple questions to think about. What is your plan when your health insurance provider chooses not to pay a legitimate claim, or they negotiate with you so that they don't have to pay the amount that they owe, which will cost you more money? How will you garner resolution then? And how will you deal with your auto insurance or your property and casualty insurance company if they slight you on a claim? Most of us don't have tens of thousands of dollars to engage a lawyer to do battle on our behalf. So how will you garner resolution against a multi-billion-dollar insurance company? If you have a loved one who has recently passed away, so you submit the death certificate to the life insurance company regarding the policy that you purchased probably years ago, and they start playing games to delay paying the death benefit on the policy that you bought years ago. How will you garner resolution then without burning thousands and thousands of dollars? How will you garner economic justice when you've been overcharged due to a recent hospital visit, which is happening more and more nowadays as the hospitals are under more pressure for additional sources of revenue? If you have a loved one in a nursing home or an assisted living or a senior care or some type of a dementia care facility, and they're not getting the care that they're supposed to be getting, although you're still being billed for that care, of course, every month, what is your plan then to get resolution, which is becoming more prevalent across the country due to the size of our elderly population? If you're one of the 35 million parents in our country who has a special needs child like I do, and your child needs urgent medical attention or an appointment with some specialist, but you can't get in quickly, how will you get action then around your matter? The same applies if you're a military veteran and you can't get any action from the VA around the care that you are due, or you are being told that you need to wait several months before they can see you. And for those of you who work in a small business, what will you do when a key business relationship blows up because an entity decides not to honor key clauses in your agreement? Do you have a process for dealing with this, other than to burn thousands or potentially tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees with the hope that it will resolve in 2 or 3 or 4 years, which can often be the norm nowadays? For those of you saying, this will never happen to me, or that these types of things don't really happen that much, that would be incorrect based on the times in which we live today. Unfortunately, most of us are in 2, 3, or 4 situations every single year that are unwelcome surprises, which require dedicated time and effort to garner economic resolution to our situations. For example, here are 6 that I used in writing the book, The Power to Get Justice. Here's an article from The Atlantic, dated March 15th of 2019, entitled, "Americans Are Going Bankrupt from Getting Sick." The article is about how an estimated 60% of personal bankruptcy filings are due to getting sick because people can't fight the system. They don't have the money. Second article is from the University of Chicago, entitled, "Millions of Americans Are Donating to People That Are on Social Networks to Raise Money." It states that 8 million people reportedly last year used crowdfunding sites to help them raise money so that they could afford to pay their medical bills. Here's an article from the New York Times, dated November 8th of 2019. The title, "With medical bills skyrocketing, more hospitals are suing for payment." How nice. This is a reason why you need my system. Here's another by the Washington Post, May 1st, 2019. Title, "Immoral and Barbaric. Cancer-surviving judge, federal judge, blasts insurance company for denying treatment." You probably heard of a company called CenturyLink. Here's a notice I got in the mail about a month ago. Notice of a class action settlement related to CenturyLink operating company billing practices. These are evidence that things are happening all around us where you very well may be in a situation where this process could help you. The positive news is that there is a process that can help improve your chances of garnering resolution faster for less money. Allow me to give you some background, please, before I share the process and teach you at a very high level in upcoming videos how it can be applied to help improve your chances of achieving resolution and justice around whatever your situation or your issue or your matter might be, whether it's personal or professional. First, a quick baseline around the importance of this topic for yourself, your family, and your working life. If you were not aware, as of December 17th of 2018, justice was selected as Merriam-Webster's 2018 Word of the Year. Here's the press release. The press release stated that the concept of justice was at the very center of many of our national debates over the past year, be they racial justice, social justice, and the thing that this book is mostly about, economic justice. It stated that this is a word on the minds of millions of people in the United States. Why do you think that is? The answer is because people believe they're not getting economic justice in matters of significance to them, and they need help achieving it faster and for less money. This process, that is the series of these videos, is a tool set that helps the common person or the small business person in a myriad of matters to achieve resolution and justice when they are being bullied or levered or treated unjustly, something which is happening more and more frequently every year across our country in virtually all sectors. This is exactly why this topic is top of mind to millions of people. 23 years ago, my very first national best-selling book, entitled The Power to Get In, revealed a process that I created called the Circle of Leverage System, which helped people gain access to the highest levels of organizations, to those who actually had the power and the authority to make a decision, by creating urgency, leverage, and action. The process has proven effective over the last 20-plus years in service with dozens of Fortune 500 organizations and companies and over 100,000 business people who have used it to garner better outcomes for themselves and for their businesses. To my surprise, something that I did not expect was, over the course of several years, people would call and share that they had used this process in a way that it was not originally designed to be used. They used it to garner resolution in matters of significance to them, such as in areas that I've just mentioned at the beginning of this video. It gave them a tool set that they could use when they were in what I like to call David versus Goliath situations, and they needed urgency, leverage, action, and resolution around various matters that were very pressing to them, which needed to be dealt with. This proved that my process had a much broader application of helping people than I had originally thought. You see, the weight of injustice in our country is literally crushing people, causing great anxiety, depression, and even suicide. That's simply not right. And I want to do something about it by teaching people about how this process works and how to apply it in a myriad of situations and scenarios to increase the probability of achieving a better outcome for less money. Unfortunately, I know a thing or two about this topic because I've been the recipient of significant financial injustice to the tune of millions of dollars, which led to the loss of my home, my marriage, and my business. However, I've decided to use my experience and my process, which I have enhanced and repurposed, to help others garner economic justice in their lives when they are in matters of significance. You see, garnering resolution in various areas of our lives is important to you, me, and millions of other people in this country and around the world. It's almost a central tenet in our lives, making sure that we get justice. If you are in the middle of or are preparing to go through some situation or matter of significance, where the possibility exists that justice in your eyes may not be served, causing pain, disruption, and costing you money that you were not expecting to spend, you can educate yourself so that you or your family or your organization are in a more powerful position to garner the resolution that you seek by learning about this process called the circle of leverage and how to most effectively apply it to your situation to improve your chances of garnering a better outcome for less money. Here's the exciting part for you, which doesn't cost you a nickel, only your time and a commitment to learn. The following series of informational videos will teach you about a step-by-step process that you can use to get access to the right people faster, to create the awareness, the exposure, the leverage, the urgency, and the action around specific situations or matters of high importance to you, be they personal or professional, to improve the likelihood of garnering a better outcome faster for less money. Now, obviously, there is no guarantee that this process will work for you, just like there is no guarantee that the legal process will help you garner the result that you desire, although it will likely cost you a lot more money. This is a process that once you learn and you understand how to apply it, it could help you garner resolution and justice much faster for less money. So whether you're being taken advantage of in a business partnership or by a client or a coworker, whether you've been let go from your job abruptly, you've been slighted by either an auto or a property or a casualty insurance claim, or whether you're awaiting a death benefit payout by a life insurance policy that is months or even years late. You've had a health insurance claim denied, although your policy information states that it should have been covered. However, you're battling with your health insurance company, or worse, they just canceled your coverage. You were either overcharged by an internet or your cable provider or your mobile phone provider. You're having difficulty getting your special needs child an appointment with a specialist or inside of a medical institution. The assisted living or memory care facility that your mother or your father is in is not delivering the standard of care that they're due, although you're still being billed for that care every single month. Your intellectual property was lifted by a much larger organization, forcing you to do something. A business partnership is not abiding by the terms of the agreement, or you were overcharged regarding a recent hospital visit, causing huge financial pressure. You were injured on the job, but you can't find a lawyer to take your case because they're saying there's not enough money in it for them to represent you. And you can't get your special needs child an individual education plan from your school, even though it's the state law. These are just a few examples of matters where this process can be of immense help. I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly by any stretch. These are just examples of very, very common occurrences. And the reason we get wound up is because it often affects our own pocketbook, meaning money. And when it affects money, it usually gets our attention. All of us have been through these kinds of situations or something very similar, which cause stress, anxiety, and they cost extra money we weren't expecting to spend. Sometimes it costs a great deal of money. The problem is, we will all continue to go through these kinds of things as organizations grow larger every single year. Therefore, in my opinion, you need to be prepared when these situations happen, because they will. We are more and more on the receiving end of various injustices in our world that impact you, your family, and your work too often. So being ready and being equipped to use this process can help in situations like these when they arise. These free informational videos will teach you about a proven tool set that you can use to become much more effective at advocating for yourself, regardless of the situation or the matter, so that your fate is not resting in the hands of politicians, lawyers, the legal process, or the behaviors of corporations whose control, power, and leverage continue to expand, hindering our ability to get resolution in justice in many situations. This process can help turn that tide back in your favor. An approach that you can use in matters that require attention, urgency, pressure, and action. A system that will give you more leverage to get your matter heard at the proper levels, improving the likelihood of resolution and justice faster and for less money. One very important last point, which I call a legal disclaimer from me, because I'm the author of the book and I'm the author of the process. Because I am not a lawyer, this series of free informational videos does not and will not ever dispense any legal advice under any circumstance. These videos about the process are not about the law. They're not about the legal system or the court system or how they work, nor are they about how to avoid or short-circuit the legal process. As you know already, there are certain matters that will require the expertise of a lawyer to help guide you on how best to use the legal process to garner the resolution and the justice that you are seeking, depending upon the matter at issue and its potential magnitude. Therefore, the process that you will learn about in these coming informational video vignettes is not in any way a replacement for the legal process. What the process does provide is an additional tool set that can be used either on its own or in concert with the legal process, depending upon the matter at issue. It provides what many consider to be the common person's toolkit and solution to garnering better outcomes and or resolutions on a myriad of personal or professional matters or events of importance to you, giving you power to improve the likelihood of garnering better outcomes, in many cases faster and for tens of thousands of dollars less. It is simply a tool for better self-advocacy for personal or professional matters that require resolution. This process represents a mindset and a way of thinking that may be new to you, even though it has been proven effective over the course of 20+ years in commerce. Now, mind you, because the process can be considered an effective tool set for the common person, it does not infer that this process cannot handle complex matters of significance, because that would not be true. The key tenets of this process can also help small and mid-sized businesses to reduce their own legal spend and the volume of disagreements between companies, which should be music to your ears if you work in a small or a mid-sized business. In the next informational video, video number 2, you will learn about the basics of what the system is, how it works, and why it can help improve your chances of garnering resolution and justice in matters of significance to you or your family or your work life. Stay tuned to learn about a process that is honest, ethical, and powerful, designed to help you and many others attain resolution and economic justice in matters of importance. Thanks very much for listening. I hope this was helpful. Go to powertogetjustice.com to order your advanced copy of the Power to Get Justice book.